How do you give a closing gift that is easy for you, customized to the client, something that they actually want, and at the same time brands you as memorable, helping you to build mindshare, which is owning real estate in people's brains so that they continue to think of you and refer you when it comes to real estate? Today's guest has developed a solution exactly for that. I'm excited for you to hear about him and his story and what he's done to bring, again, a solution to agents that makes this no longer a problem. Enjoy. Welcome back to the Think Bigger Real Estate Show. I'm your host, Justin Stoddart, coming to you again today with a topic that is going to help solve the problem of what do I give my clients for a closing gift? Number one, that they actually want. And number two, that helps keep me memorable. That's like the age-old question that people are always trying to solve. And I have with me today a friend from long ago, somebody who I've known for a long time, is really an expert in marketing and advertising. Before I fully introduce him, I want you to know that this full episode is going to live on your favorite podcast app or on YouTube if you prefer that. Go find it, download it, subscribe. It will give you the ability to really internalize what we're going to teach here, because we're not just going to talk about the solution that he's created. We're going to talk about marketing and in advertising in general, and how to really stay top of mind and how important that is in today's world. So with no further ado, please let me welcome you to the show, Mr. Mark Lukes. Thank you so much for being here today.
My pleasure for having me.
Yeah, fun having you here, man. In fact, Lucas, there we go.
There you go. Either way, it's all good.
Oh, funny. Anyway, Mark and I knew each other back when I was a home builder. I was in Utah at the time building high-end custom homes. Mark was in the advertising business. And thanks to this thing called social media, we've just stayed in contact, had a conversation between now and then a couple of times. And it's been really fun to see, Mark, what you've done over the past decade, taking really your affinity for marketing and advertising and now creating a really powerful solution for real estate agents.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, it's been fun watching your career as well over the what do we had about a decade or so. So always good stuff. So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So
let's talk a little bit about kind of this problem of closing gifts, right? It's not a problem. It's really an opportunity, right? An opportunity to really thank clients, to be memorable, to let them know that you appreciate them, right? And hopefully give them something that they actually want. And I see, these gift baskets filled with like a lot of styrofoam and stuffing so that the presentation looks right, and it's a wine, and maybe the people don't like wine or don't drink it at all. Like it's always, and oftentimes I'll hear real estate agents saying, man, those closing gifts are super expensive.
Yeah.
Or it's like right before closing, like, oh shoot, I don't have a closing gift. And it's kind of like you get to that point where it's like, it's like, I know I need to give my wife something for our anniversary, but what do I get? Let's run to the store and just find something, right? And it's like, you didn't really want it. You didn't really need to spend the money. Like, there's a problem there, right? And I feel like you've kind of really stepped in to fix that.
Yeah. So the very, very quick backstory is, I owned a marketing agency. This would have been back in the 90s when we first met. And I had a whole string of clients who were real estate agents and brokers and home builders and whatnot. And then, they always had the same problem, which is what to give as a closing gift. That was always number one. And then B is, how do I stay in touch with my clients after this sort of wonderful world of buying a new home is over with, or buying their new home. So the first problem was relatively simple. Silent Marketing Solution is by default a closing gift company. Okay. The difference being is, instead of a closing gift, as you pointed out rightly, a basket of fruit or wine or muffins or whatever, which all have a very short-lived lifespan. And this is true that I've had agents come to me and say, part of the reason we were searching for new stuff was because I gave a bottle of wine. Turns out, the homeowner was a recovering alcoholic, or, the kid is gluten intolerant, or, any one of a myriad of problems. And we solve that by saying this: we're going to give the customer, your customer, a gift membership to our sister company called the Shopping Company. So you have Silent Marketing Solution on one end and the Shopping Company on the other. Shopping Company is a members only, very heavily discounted website that your customer then is going to go to, and they're going to buy their own perfect closing gift. Whatever that means. We have 30,000-ish plus items to choose from in a wide range of categories and products that they want. Now, I always make the joke that, how many agents have ever thought about buying their customer jewelry or bed sheets? And luckily, no one's ever said yes, because if they ever did, we'd have to have a seriously different conversation with their broker too. Like, the broker needs to come in on this one. But these are things that people buy for themselves. They buy stuff for their dogs and their cats. They buy stuff for their kids. jewelry is actually more common than you might realize. Ironing boards. Now, there is not an agent worth their salt that would buy their customer an ironing board. They would be probably beaten over the head with it. But people buy ironing boards for themselves or whatever it happens to be. The point is that the agent doesn't have to go spend hours thinking about what they might want to buy. They don't have to wonder whether it's the right gift. They're just going to hand over this membership. It's $59, guys. It's super cheap. Go ahead, get a nice wine basket for $59. And then those customers go in the store, they get to pick their own stuff. And that's where the real power kicks in, because it's a white label website. Shopping company, when those new customers log in, the website rebrands itself completely to that agent with all of their contact information and their colors and their logos, and it completely again, and the joke that I say is my web guy says there's an infinite amount of people that could be on it. I don't believe in infinite. I say 100,000. I could have 100,000 people on the website at the same time. Every one of those people would see a different website based on whatever their agent information is and their contact. So we're taking that branding idea to the nth degree by using the power of shopping, which people want to do. I think we all recognize that now pretty readily, that power of online shopping is not going to go away anytime soon. We're harnessing that and giving agents an opportunity to stay with their customers for years upon years upon years in a really unique and creative way that the customers like.
What a great idea that you've come up with. It's really solved a problem and made it easy for real estate agents, right? At a time when they're really kind of wrapping up, giving kind of the final hurrah, right? Kind of the bow on the wrapper of all of their service.
Right.
And again, sometimes when you're moving into a new home, you don't really want, you need practical stuff, right? Like you said, you might need an ironing board. You might need like a plunger, and who, as a real estate agent in the right mind, would ever offer that, right? And it's like, just give me the freedom to go do stuff. Yet, so you could say, oh, well, here's a gift card to Amazon. But the difference of what you've created is that it goes through a branded website to where the agent is shopping on a website that's reminding them of the agent, right? And then you shared with me that the receipts, everything that comes back to that client is branded in the name of them.
Yeah, exactly. So every time their customer buys something, so our average customer comes on the website, 3 to 4 times a month. They buy something every 6 to 8 weeks, 7 weeks, something along those lines. Every time they come on that website, the website rebrands itself. Every time they buy something, all those receipts are branded back to the agent. Every week, there's an email that goes out to the customers that are all branded back to the agent. It's continuous marketing over and over and over. And really, the agent doesn't have to do anything after that. I mean, I would never make the argument, and I have made the argument, that agents do need to stay in touch with their customers every now and again, birthdays or an anniversary or something along those lines. But the day-to-day marketing, this program takes care of all of that. And it does it in a very clean, simple, like we say, silent way, because the people are going to come on and they're going to shop. They don't want to be hounded every day, and no disrespect to agents to do this, but they don't want to be hounded every day from an agent getting an email saying, aren't I a wonderful agent? Goody on me. And the people go, great, or their spam filters kick it out or whatever. This is an entirely different way of looking at it. It's getting those customers to do what they want to do, which is go shopping. So
is there some way to even kind of replenish that? I mean, let's say that somebody goes through and they spend their closing gift, right?
Sure.
And say you wanted to thank somebody for a referral. And I know that in different states, you've got to kind of tread lightly on kind of what that looks like. You can't give it a direct incentive. But, I know sometimes people will give additional kind of, just thank you has been thinking about you, or maybe condolences or congratulations on your new job promotion. Is there some way, once you have that past client in there, just give it again, not tied to a closing?
So the membership itself is the $59. Now, this is where the program's pretty cool. So the agent's going to pay, let's say, the $59 for the first year, right? That's a 1 year for $59. At the end of that year, that customer is going to get an email that says, hey, thank you for shopping on the shopping company. Aren't we wonderful? Would you like to renew your membership? So this is where the long-term retention number becomes critical. So 68 times out of every 100, that customer now renews their membership on their own for $99. That customer is still in the agent's program circle. It means those agents get all the marketing benefits at no cost to them. Okay, but to answer your question, if an agent, let's say after a year, said, hey, I want to go Sally Smith and Jerry Smith were really great customers. I love them to death. I'm going to go give them another $50 gift card. again, within state legalities and so on and so forth. Yeah, there's no reason to say they couldn't. And in fact, I think it'd be a nice idea. But the membership side of it, the part of the program that basically gets those people to come back to the shopping company over and over again, they're going to more than likely do it on their own. So even though we have agents who have purchased multi-year memberships, let's say, we don't necessarily advise it. I mean, look, happy to do that if that's what you want to do. But I really do tell agents 1 year, maybe 2 at the most, then play it out. Don't spend more money than you need to, because I'm not here to, try and make it. I'm not just here to take your money. I'm here to provide a service that's really going to help you. And that's an important step to that is, be judicious in your spending cycles. So.
Got it. So I'm understanding this service better, which is really fascinating. So you're really giving them almost like a Costco membership or like an Amazon Prime membership. Like you're giving them kind of the keys to this deeply discounted portal, right?
Sure.
Now, if they wanted to also give a gift card, which is kind of how I was thinking of it originally, yeah, they could probably offer that as well, I would imagine.
Right. So the membership's $59, and then the gift cards start around $25. There's technically no limit. We have had a few agents in like LA and that give $10,000 gift cards. It's rare, but it does happen from time to time. These guys, this guy was selling $4 and $5 million houses plus. So 10,000, I guess, makes sense. I mean, you have to give a gift card that's commensurate to, whatever that homeowner is valued at. But yeah, for the most part, $25, $50 is pretty average. What I tell agents is this: with a gift card, our participation rate's around 92%, a little more, 92.5%. Okay, 92 or 93 out of every one of those people is going to come use it. They're going to love it. They're going to start rolling. Without the gift card, it falls into the mid 50s, 56, 57, something along those lines. So we always encourage people to get that little 25. And it doesn't matter. The participation rate seems to be roughly the same, whether it is $25 or whether it's 100,000. It seems to be about commensurate. But at the same time, again, I want agents to spend their money judiciously. So if that customer gets that $25 gift card, great. If you want to renew it a year later, great, go for it. But again, use your time wisely, use your money wisely, and we'll go from there.
Great insight, Mark. I love this concept, and again, I'm a big proponent of the importance of gaining mind share. In fact, I've kind of used this as a metaphor that prior to people using or referring you for real estate, you have to own a piece of real estate in their brain. There's 0% chance that they'll ever use you if they've forgotten about you, right?
Exactly right.
0% chance. If they have forgotten that you exist,
exactly,
there's no chance that they'll use you. And so I love what your closing gift does is it doesn't just create a one-time, that was wonderful, we drank the wine, we ate the chocolates, whatever, right? But it's this ongoing reminder of value.
Right.
And every time they go to the site, and I think that's a key principle for all of us to be thinking about is when we go to market, how can we continue to again, own that space in their brain, right? Not just rent it for a short period of time, but how can we stay there?
Right. Well, and that's exactly right. So it is, I'm sure and probably every viewer you have knows, I mean, the real estate industry has one of the worst retention rates of any major industry in the U.S., around 14%, slightly under, about 13.9%. That's horrible. I mean, in any other industry, there would be wholesale changes to how things are done. And for some reason, the real estate industry just didn't. When you and I spoke earlier, it was like the real estate industry got to around 1910 in their marketing and went, yeah, we're good right here. And we're okay. Everybody else just keep going. We feel safe. And that's a really bad way to work because you're losing a lot of repeat business that is so critical to most industries. So the analogy I make is this, is if you look at the auto industry, it's the second largest purchase most people will make. It is a purchase that's going to last a long time. Cars and houses actually have roughly the same turnover rate, about 7 to 8 years, plus or minus. And you say, okay, now the auto industry has a retention rate of, depending on the brand, of around 62 to around 90%, right? Think of the worst car you can think of, a 1980s Yugo where there was only 3 wheels, and somehow that can get a retention rate of 62%, right? And yet the real estate industry can't get more than 14. So we kind of took a lesson from that when we were designing this and said, well, what did they do? They brand their cars on every corner, the front, the nose, the back, the key fob, the steering wheel. everything you get in your car, you see nothing but a logo to remind you what it is that you're driving. If you like your Honda, if you like your Toyota, if you like your Range Rover, it's right there. Can't forget what the kind of car it is you drive. The real estate industry has never had that until we came along and said, no, we're going to make sure that as an agent, every time those people log into that website, they're going to know who you are. They're going to see your bright, shining face. They're going to see your contact info and blah, blah, and all your logos. That's why our retention rate is so radically different from the industry at large. I mean, 68% retention rate for the agents that use my program, massive. It's absolutely massive. And we've got 10 years of watching these agents grow. It's fantastic to watch, agents look at life and look at their business in an entirely different way and realize there's options that are really exciting. So,
it's, and 10,000 agents around the country are using your service. I mean, that's a great indicator of how well it works. And they keep doing it. They keep coming back. So
absolutely.
Kudos to you, really spreading across, the U.S. And I know you're working on some big potential partnerships now. So I'm sure this is only the beginning of people hearing about silent marketing solutions. Mark, where can people go to find out more if they're like, that sounds like it would really be what I'm looking for?
Sure, you bet. So you can go to silentmarketingsolution.com. That's solution singular because we are a one singular solution. If for agents who maybe want to see what a showcase page would look like, they can send us an email at customer.care@theshoppingcompany.com. We'll send them back a link, and then they, if they're with Remax or if they're with EXP or KW, we've already got some showcase pages built up. They can kind of see what it would look like. And and then also, if you've got any other questions, 941-404-2591. If they want to give us a call, and we'll talk to them directly. Love to do it.
Awesome. I'll have you send me that stuff in an email so we can be sure and put it in the show notes as well so people can and do it. Last question, Mark. Obviously, you're a big thinker. You're a guy who is kind of pushing the limits and finding big solutions that scale across the country and potentially across the globe. As I know, you're working on some stuff that's potentially international as well. What does a guy like you do to continue to be a big thinker, to continue to expand your own possibilities to where you're not just building small solutions, you're building big solutions? Like, what does that look like for you that you can teach us, those of us that are big thinkers that want to continue to expand our own possibilities?
Yeah. I'm going to do two things. One is a bit of a cliche and the other is not. The cliche would be, I really value all the people that are surrounding me. Look, my wife is a genius, and she was as integral a part of developing this as I was. You and I knew each other back in the day when the inception was sort of just starting to get developed. And I remember talking to you a couple of times going, well, what about this? What about that? I had a great group of people near and far who were willing to talk to me, who I reached out to, and they gave me feedback. And I think that's the critical part of life. If you think you can do this all on your own, never going to happen. You're going to get too landlocked into an idea that may not be a good one, and there's nothing to counteract it. So that would be number one. Number two is, look, everybody's got to relax a little bit. I live in Sarasota, Florida. I like the ocean. I get out to the beach as often as I can. I go kayaking. I have to find ways to sort of calm my brain down from time to time. And it's always amazing to me, I'll go out on the water and something will be gnawing at me, and I'll come back and the mind is clear, and suddenly that problem seems to resolve itself slightly, and it maybe will put me down a different thought process. So, listen to others. It's going to help you. Listen to yourself when you need to just not be thinking all the time. And it's amazing what solutions will kind of pop into your head when you least expect it. So maybe those were both cliches. I'm not sure.
No, fabulous advice. I've asked this to literally hundreds of big thinkers, and I don't think that, especially that second answer, that I've heard that. So it's fantastic. Thank you so much for sharing, and thank you for what you're doing for the industry, right? And really to help real estate agents not just get customers, but to keep the ones they have. So
absolutely.
With that, I want to encourage everybody listening here to these three simple words, and they are go, think bigger. Mark, thanks so much for helping us do that today. I look forward to having more and more people use your solution and for it to help them in their business pursuits. So
outstanding. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
All right, my friend. Total pleasure as always. All right. We'll talk soon.
All right. Thanks.